Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, and welcome to episode 26 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast and to week 26 of 2019. We are halfway through the year officially. Are you shocked that we are halfway through the year, or are you organised, on track and killing it in 2019? I sincerely hope it's the latter. I hope that you've spent your last 6 months hitting your goals, working diligently towards them, or perhaps you've achieved them, or perhaps you're still working towards them. For me, this podcast episode, I thought I might share some little intimate bits and pieces about myself, the goals I'm trying to achieve, and let you in a little bit closer into the world of Jen Donovan and social media and marketing Australia. Because for me, this year has been everything from high highs to low lows, and I'm just talking about business here. If you listened in to my very first episode of this podcast, which would have come out in the first week of January, you might remember my declaration. I declared that I would do one podcast a week for 52 weeks. I've never made weekly consistent content like that before, so it was an enormous challenge, and it has been a challenge. But I'm halfway there, and so far I haven't missed a deadline. And these things take time. It's almost a day's work to put a podcast together, and I do that week in, week out. I thought it would get quicker, and possibly it has, but it still takes a lot of time and energy to go from the first step of researching to the end point of you listening in. Now, I'm not complaining. It's done more for my business than anything else I could think of, and anything else that has worked in the past. It's only going to get bigger, better, and even more amazing. So that's why I'm so glad you've come along for the journey. So this podcast episode, I thought we might do a mid-year check-in, because we all should do a mid-year check-in. So let's check in and see how things are tracking, and maybe reset and refocus. But first, of course, let's do the discovery of the week. If you follow me on any of my social media platforms, being Facebook or in my Facebook group or LinkedIn or Instagram, you'll already know what my discovery of the week is, because it was so brilliant I couldn't keep it in until the podcast. And plus, I wanted to do a demonstration for everyone on the platform to show them what this app can do. So basically, the app was called Clips, and Clips is brilliant. Why is it brilliant? Well, let me explain, because we all know how important video is in marketing, don't we? And some of you are doing video really well already. Some of you are dabbling in it. And for some of you, it's still a real stretch for yourself, and you just need to start. But using video, or using just video in our marketing mix in 2019 just isn't enough, because I think the stat is something like over 86% of us watch video on our phones with our sound off. So therefore, next level video has captions. So that's where Clips comes in. So if you record your video in the Clips app, so the app's available wherever you get your apps from, whether it's Android or ISO. So basically, if you record your video in the Clips app, then you have the options to put live captions on there. So in other words, the captions appear as you talk. Now, the AI on this is absolutely mind-blowing, but the fact that the app is for free and it's fairly accurate, like 98% accurate on a free app, now that is next level mind-blowing. So go and download Clips today and start recording your videos with captions. I guarantee your engagement rate will go up. And if you aren't doing video in your business and you know that you should, Then download clips. Start recording something. You don't have to do anything with the videos. You can just delete them. You don't have to show a single soul, but you need to start getting used to yourself, the sound of your voice, the look of yourself on video, and you just need to start recording something. And plus, maybe if you record something that you think, oh, that wasn't too bad, I might put that out on my social media platforms or in my email or on my website, wherever that looks like to you, then at least you know you're ticking the captions box right off the bat. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that can teach you all about clips if you have any problems, but of course you can always reach out to me as well. As always, just a little disclaimer, these discoveries are just that, and I am in no way affiliated with any of them, but I promise to tell you if I ever am. So let's get into today's episode, a check-in and a refocus. At the beginning of the year, did you set yourself some goals? My hope is that you did set them. They sit somewhere prominently displayed in your office or wherever it is you work from, so you can see them every day, and that you are well on your way to achieving them, or perhaps you've even ticked some off the list. If you didn't set any, or you've lost sight of them, or where you're going, then let's have a chat about that too. I have 3 quotes or inspiring sayings printed in my office, which I look at every day, and I know they keep me on track and keep my head screwed on the right way. And I wanted to share them with you today when we're thinking about checking in and refocusing. They are, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. The second one is start with the end in mind. And the third one, of course, the theme of the podcast, there is no point in dreaming small. The first 2 have been with me for a long time. I've actually built 2 businesses off the back of those 2 quotes. The last one, well, it's a new addition this year, because last year I found myself lost, confused, hurt beyond belief from a colleague, a friend, and a business partner. But that story's a little bit too raw still to tell. I can certainly see it in a future episode. So dreaming big became 2019's mantra for me, because I have to go hard or go home. And go home means getting a job, which for most of us small business owners who love to work for themselves is not really the aim of the game. So perhaps my first point in our mid-year check-in is, what inspires you? Do you have a mantra for business or for life that you need reminding of every day? So perhaps you could put some posters or post-it notes around you to keep you on track or to keep you intact, like me. But let's get down to some goal check-ins. My second point in our mid-year check-in is, let's check in with your goals. If you set some goals at the beginning of the year, go get them. Let's look at them now. I'm really hoping that they're close by and it's something you look at every day, because the models did have some wisdom in the 80s when they sung the song out of mind, out of sight, or in this case, out of sight, out of mind. You need a daily check-in for your goals. Otherwise, you might forget where you're heading. And there's that old saying, if you don't know where you're heading, any road will do. If you didn't set any goals, then I'll be with you shortly, but please don't switch off. I have got some gold for you too. So let's look at the goals. Pause the podcast, get your goals, browse your goals, answering the 3 following questions. Did you achieve the goal? Are you still working towards the goal? Is the goal still important? If you answered yes to all those questions, brilliant. I'm absolutely so proud of you. If you didn't answer yes to questions 2 and 3 though, then today is the day we need to work on those things. If you're still not working towards that goal, why not? This is a self-reflection exercise, so be honest with yourself. If it's not important anymore, why not? What's changed in you? What's changed in your business to make something that you thought was so important 6 months ago not important now? 6 months into 2019, maybe you need to set some new goals. Maybe business has changed, you've changed, the world's changed, and it's just time to set some new ones. Or if you didn't set any, or don't have any, then let's double down and set some today. The most important things to remember about setting new goals are 1, knowing why you want to achieve the goal. 2, what's the financial benefit of the goal? 3, what's it going to take to reach that goal? And 4, what's it going to mean to you and your business when you achieve it? What does the celebration look like when you achieve the goal? Having that in your head can be just as important as having the goal inside your head. I cannot encourage you enough to take some time mid-year to reset your goals to help you refocus on what's important and what you will want to achieve at the end of 2019. I don't want you getting to the end of the year and have not achieved what you set out to do. So let's do the check-in in mid-year. Maybe you need to set some smaller goals to help you achieve the big, hairy, audacious ones, the BHAG ones that you set at the start of the year. I know that this is exactly where I am. I had lots of BHAG goals for 2019 and I had lots of small goals as well. The small ones, I'm happy, I'm ticking. The big, hairy, audacious ones, I am not. Honestly, if I'm going to achieve everything in 2019 that I set at the beginning of the year, then there's a fair chance that last night was the last night I'm sleeping until January 2020 because I am that far behind where I wanted to be. I laugh at, some of the unrealistic timeframes I put around my goals at the beginning of the year, but I didn't know any better. And that's why it's important to be always tracking your goals. I didn't factor in life, that old chestnut called life. But I'm not giving up. I had hoped to create my first course, Facebook Ads for Beginners, to be released in January. And, well, it's still not released and we're almost in July. I could blame 100 things, but the truth is, just between you and me, I haven't made it enough of a priority. I've let other things stand in the way. Some are excuses and some I've just concentrated on other revenue-making activities. But my new website is almost done, and we'll be talking about that on a future podcast episode, which will host my courses, Facebook Ads for Beginners and Email Marketing for Beginners, which will solve the problem of where to send my amazing students to learn what I have to teach, which is clearly a good thing for them, knowing where to send someone. So although not ready in February, definitely going to be able to tick that goal off in a couple of months. Now, anyone who might be interested in those courses, I will definitely let you know when they become available. Or, of course, you can head to my website, socialmediaandmarketing.com.au, and just go to the courses tab and you can sign up and you'll be the first to know when they are released. But I guarantee you I will be talking about it on this podcast. I guess I share that story with you because I wanted you to see that although perhaps you have goals on your list that you haven't achieved by the time you'd set, they're still achievable. Don't let yourself be distracted by the fact that you didn't do it yet. Put those things back on your list, put a new time frame around them and start working towards them. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're completely lost in 2019, please reach out, DM me on any of the social media platforms that I'm on, and don't let yourself end the year feeling like you are now, lost and confused. I can help, or at least I can be a virtual ear to listen and help put you on track. But regardless of whether that sounds like you or not, I have these 6 pieces of advice for you. The first one is make marketing a priority in your business. Stop making it a if I've got time priority and make it a real priority every day. 2, take some time to look at your finances at the end of the financial year, or if it's not the end of the financial year, just take time to look at your finances. Yep, crap, crazy, I know, but please look at them. Know what's earned you money and what hasn't, and start putting effort and energy perhaps for the last of 2019 or the last half of 2019 into your money-making activities. Give yourself a workplace Marie Kondo cleanup is my third little tip. Clean and clear your workplace invites a clean and clear mind to work with. Spend an hour or two reorganizing your workplace, giving a clean, throwing out those 1,000 sticky notes that you have of all the important things you need to do. Pro tip, just buy yourself a notebook to write all those things in. Maybe cleaning your workplace is also looks like cleaning out your inbox and your computer files as well. Just give yourself the maximum chance of starting with a clean and clear and positive mindset. My fourth tip is put your goals where you can see them. And I know I've already mentioned this, but every day you should be able to see your goals. Maybe consider doing a vision board and listening to the Models song Out of Mind, Out of Sight while you do it. Tip number 5, learn to delegate. If you just squirmed or your inner core just shook, please know that it is a skill you can learn. So if you're not good at it, take small steps to become a great delegator. It'll give you more time to focus on your goals, and as tip 2 said, also focus on your money-making activities. Tip number 6 is if you are finding it hard to keep yourself accountable, then find yourself an unreasonable friend or an accountability buddy. If you don't know where to start, maybe head into my Facebook group, Like-Minded Business Owners, and ask if anyone would like to pair up there. I have no doubt you'll find a taker or two. Accountability is one of those fundamentals that is missing from so many small business owners, and really can make a massive difference on your output and your input every day if you've got someone holding you accountable. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this podcast and take time to look at your goals. Even if you're listening to this and it's not mid-year, it's a great reminder to stop, reflect, and refocus. So make sure you still sit down and do the exercises. If you'd like to chat about it further, then let's get social on social and let's continue the conversation in Like-Minded Business Owners on Facebook. I'd absolutely love to hear about the goals you've hit so far in 2019 and maybe the ones that you've missed. The group is all about supporting each other through both. But that is it for episode 26 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Of course, I will be back next Thursday for more marketing know-how and another great discovery. If you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, because I have some crackers coming up. Not to mention some fantastic interviews with some amazing ladies. And maybe you could share this podcast with a friend. Please feel free to go and leave a rating and review. Those things are like gold for podcasters like me. And if you've already left one, please know that you can always leave a second one. Just saying. Stay focused on your game. Keep your dreams alive, because the world needs that really special gift that only you can give. Thank you so much for lending me your ears. And remember, my small business peeps, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
If you feel lonely, say it loud. There's no time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud. Be true and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.